And good morning, everybody. Welcome back into the Dragon's Den. My name's Digital Dragon. You're having a great weekend. Welcome on in, Chewy, Benchi. Hey, Mr. Wizix, MTP Matt G, or Matt J. Welcome in. Hey, Timor. How's it going? Wilk Allen. Welcome, 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 everybody. Welcome on in. Hope everybody's having a great weekend. Um, Oh, what are we doing? It's going to be a little bit of a shorter stream today. Hey, Eagle the Dragon, welcome in. I have a hard stop at noon because my parents are coming over for a visit. So, without too much more preamble, we're just going to get into it. I have kind of made a little set of notes here of things we need to do. We've got to finish the wiring. Um, Once we get things turned on, we've got to finish setting up the tool board. It's got catapult on it, but we need to set up um, clipper on it. And then we need to review, kind of do one more once over of the clipper config. And then once that's done, we can start the commissioning process. So that's going to kind of have some notes to keep me uh, straight and orderly here on what we've got to get done still on this build. The other thing that I want to do is we go over here to the play and make a quick little announcement here. So if you are in the Raleigh, North Carolina area, um, we're going to be doing a maker mashup. It is hosted by me. It will be over at Echovate 3D. And the goal here is really, show off your latest project. Work areas will be available. So if you want to come and work on a project, that's great. Share and collaborate. Maybe you're stuck on something, whether it's a 3D printer issue or a design issue or an electronics issue. Come on, bring it out. Chat. Uh, Ask questions. Have fun. Once again, the goal here is just to get people coming together because we can always create greater things when we come together than just trying to do them all by ourselves. We get stuck, we do research, maybe we stay stuck. So 9 a.m. running out weekend already. Exactly, Wilk Allen. The format is kind of, like I said, is going to be sort of open to start with until we start getting people there. We try and figure out if there's a theme that people are looking for. Um, we're going to alternate between, I'll say, early afternoon and then evening times between the months, and that just helps give people time to get in there and come on in. So April's going to be noon to 3. Noon because that's when they open up. Uh, May is going to be 4 p.m. to close. They close around 7 p.m., though I will say I have been there much later. Um, so, yeah, that's just going to be something I'm going to announce. You're going to start seeing this making the socials here real soon. With that, a couple of other things that I'll talk about real fast. This is the backplate design that I decided to go with. It uses the PUG or the uh, parametric umbilical gland pass-through setup here. It also has a spot to bring a USB cable through, so that's great for beacon probes or toolhead boards like a Nighthawk that you're running in USB mode. And you also have a spot for your ETFE tube. Sorry about that, folks. I am still dealing with some allergies. Once Mrs. Dragon gets here with some coffee, so we did use the pub gland with I went with the zip tie version and this back plate. And we'll see that a little bit more here. So this is our current setup. And let me bring you all in a little here. Bring you in and So once again, we've got our umbilical coming through here, goes into the pug gland. We've got our PTFE tube right next to it, and then the USB cable is going there as well. I've just got 3 loose zip tie, semi-loose zip ties holding those 3 things together. In the um, cable sleeve here, we've got the CAN bus cable or 4-wire custom made CAN bus cable, and we've got our 2 fan cables that are back here. Got our USB cable that's going to come around, and then our PTFE tube will cut this to length. This, I don't even know where this one came from. I just happened, it was down there and I grabbed it. That's kind of where we're at. Everything is wired up on the tool head. Ooh, that's the other thing we need to do. I just realized we need to finish the beacon probe calibration. Get that added. Okay. Got to have a checklist at this point, or I'm going to just not be making it. Okay. Let's see where are we at. So let me pull us back out here. And we'll get back into some wiring. I'm going to have to set this down on its side because our fan cables here, we're going to need to bring them down, route them through the back panel. I'm going to route our USB and the fan cables right next to the skirt port that I have for our CAN bus. And that way it's all going to kind of go in it the same way. And once I put the back panel on, I can do some type of, maybe it's just a little square zip tie down blocks, and we can zip tie stuff down to make it run cleaner. We'll get that stuff wired in. Once it's all wired in and we're good, we're confident that we have everything wired in, we can set this back up and we can turn it on and we can get into some more configurations. That said, get that out of the way. This stuff is out of the way. Pick this up and lay it over on its side. Make sure I'm not, yeah, we're not sitting on anything. And now I'm gonna do the shake, shimmy, turn. Okay. So once again, we've got an Ethernet jack here. So I will at some point run an Ethernet cable around through here. And then we've got our 4-pin jack right here with our CAN bus cable. And I'm just going to double, triple, quadruple check. It's always good when you make all of these the same. And so what'll happen is this cable from the CAN bus toolhead board will come down and plug into there. And that way, if I ever need to do any maintenance, I can unplug it here and not have to keep putting this printer over on its side. Now, the other thing that we need to do, take a couple of these off because I routed my USB cable through here before I had figured out where I was putting everything. We're going to bring this in through this spot right next to the 4-pin. Yeah, that gives us the most room. I can either come next to it or one of the two underneath. 6 one, half dozen the other. I was actually thinking, do I come through this skirt side, but I want to go through the same skirt panel. come through here. And once again, we'll just have to bring this around, kind of up through here gently, and get this put in there. We'll just push it in here as well. That one. Now we're going to have our two fans that are going to come through as well. And these guys are going to come down through the bottom trough, come up, not come up. Our 4-port fans are over here. We can either bring these across and then come up. I mean, either way, it's going to be about the same. So we'll go the low route on these. These covers back on. I want to leave a little bit of slack. I don't want to make it too tight through here. And once again, we're going to have an option with these where we can cut them shorter, we can leave them longer. It's up to us. I think we're going to have plenty of room to, even if we cut those lines shorter. So, hey, Daddy Wazzy, how's it going? Welcome on in. Now, the biggest thing is I need to figure out, use those weird offset. So we're probably going to have to change these back over to the connectors that they originally had on them. Now I got to figure out what I did with said connectors. So we're trying to go through and finish up our wiring and get this back up and moving under its own power again. Oh. So we've got these connectors that were on the fan to begin with. And I believe, yeah, these will still fit on there. So these will still work. I believe these are kind of the same Molex connectors that we used on the Duet board. What can I... Don't think I've got those in here. Yeah, these are all just different size JSTs. JST should work as well. Grab one of these, see if it will. I mean, I think the 10... Yeah, I'd have to, at the very least, cut the locking tabs off to be able to get it on there. We could also put some DuPont connectors on there. Pinholes are lining up. We'll have to go through and make sure that we get the wiring done right. And I don't think there we go. Duet board. I know I had a duet somewhere around here. How's it going, Daddy Wazzy? Nathan Builds Things, how's it going? Welcome in. Hope you're doing fine today. Yes, these should be the same. Okay. Yeah, I should have plenty of these connectors. Let's go ahead and cut off the end of this so I can get a few of these out. 4 and 4, I'm going to need at least 8 of these pins. Oh, there we go. Much more came out. And these are going to be done just like our standard GST connectors. So those. Having coffee and watching English soccer. Who's playing today, Daddy Wazzy? And what is our pin out? Going to be critical. Now, Austin Villa and Southampton. Okay, cool. 2.0 board, hardware. Okay, our 4-wire fan. PA2, PC1. BF5. Okay, so the BF I think is the power. So we've got these wired up. Okay. You bring these in here like this. About there. Good morning, Pez Liz. How's it going? Welcome on in. Hey, Chewy, how's it going? Hope everybody's doing well today. God, it's been a while since I've seen those comments, Pez. Good old boyfriend, too. Daddy Wazzy, the creator. And I believe I just heard my coffee arriving. Yes, we need to start doing our terminations here. Typical thing, we'll just peel our wires from each other so it makes it easier to work on. Hey, Ramon. Happy birthday. Little birdie said something about that. Okay. Once again, we're going to do the typical thing here. We'll do these one at a time. Always makes it easier. Birthday weekend, boy. Hey, Tim, welcome on in. Hope you're doing well today. Dragon. All right. I'll come grab one in a second. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at how this goes in, figure out where my ground is going to be, which is going to be closer to the CB1. So that's where my black cable goes. Here's my black cable. Putting this in the okay. Next is going to be my red cable. Will be the power, be the VF 5 or 6. You guys aren't seeing my it's probably going to say like, no, we don't understand which. There you go. Now you can see the schematic. You might not be able to read it, but you can see it. Cable now. In that case, let's do verify what. Just make sure that I did that. Green cable. Hey, Tugboat, how's it going? One. Apparently that one didn't either. That's crimp. Not difficult. Couldn't be. We've got bigger wires and bigger connectors. Probably me trying to bend over because once again, that was the green wire. Green wire is trying to line up to the third wire. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to match the original wiring of the fans themselves. So the fans were pre-crimped with these connectors in a specific color order, and it was black, red, green, and a blue, or maybe a yellow and a blue, I think. So, of course, I've got a 4-pin wire here. We're reusing a motor wire to do this, as it made sense to me. So what I'm trying to do is just make the wire that I'm crimping right here be a straight through to the fan, keeping that same color order. And that gives me the best chance of not setting the fan up in smoke when we actually get things plugged in. There. So these particular fans, they've got your standard 2-wire power and ground, and then you've also got a PWM and a tachometer. So it can tell whether or not the fan is turning. So if you have a fan that stops for whatever reason, it'll be able to tell that and throw an error. Grab coffee. The elixir of life. Welcome on in, Hutch's Makerspace. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Hey, Tim. Oh, your co-print still hasn't shipped. Yeah, they started shipping those, right? I believe hasn't Zombie got his, but I don't know if he had like I don't know if his was a regular order. Nathan Village, you're doing well. I have a question about your Voron 2.4. You installed a filament runout sensor and it works as intended, but after so long, the printer cools down and requires a rehome to start up again. Obviously won't work with a print there. Oh, okay. So on a pause, you're saying the filament detects a run out and then it does a pause. And then if it's paused for too long, it does a whatchamacallit. It'll cool down all the heaters and stuff and disable the issue is that it disables the motors, which then requires a rehome. Yes, as soon as I can get into the config here, I'll show you what you need to do. And we're almost there. Let me get these other 5 crimps done and we'll be able to flip this thing back up and apply some power. And I will show you real fast where that setting is. Because yes, I have had that same issue and I know exactly where you need to make the change. All right, all 4 of those are in. And I'm going to make it a little bit easier on myself for this next one. Get over here where I can sit down and work a little bit closer to me without being bent over and hunched over. I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of times the one I like is when you get your item has been shipped. No, they create a shipping label, but my item has decidedly not shipped yet because it takes 24 hours to get the tracking, and then you realize that it sits wherever it is for like another 3 days before or at least before UPS admits that they have it. Or USPS. That's what's been getting me lately is just um, especially with USPS, is nothing is shipping remotely within the normal guidelines. So like if it says 2 to 3 days shipping, expect it to be more like 3 to 5. And then you won't be disappointed when it doesn't show up. You know? I've been having that issue a lot where you order things and it takes forever. And then like I had something that was shipping UPS and it was here in like 2 days. So, yeah, and that's even worse. So do not pay for that updated or upgraded shipping, especially if you're going USPS, because their favorite of late is um, nature, like acts of nature. Oh, there was a storm. Well, that's funny. I thought the motto of the post office was, neither rain nor wind nor sleet or dark of night or whatever will keep the postman from his. Yeah, no, not anymore. Somebody gets the sniffles and there's a 4-day delay. Completely missed the wire. They don't even give you an option. They're just like, okay, pay this amount, and then we pick the carrier that's most advantageous to us. Yeah. So, Pezliz, when is the Montreal Maker meetup? Meetup, hangout, whatever it is that I know you're doing one. Looking forward to modding Clipper to 5M Pro this weekend. Nice. Yeah, so I've been working on a few projects. So I've got the Key Tech Key Tech X Pro done for my Dungeon Master for my Friday night D&D group. And I took it last night. He's like, "Oh, I didn't realize you were bringing it." So uh, he had driven with somebody else, so he didn't have a way of getting it home. So it's still sitting in the car, and he'll pick it up um, next week. But yeah, so that one's done. I had brought home the uh, Zero G Mercury 1 that Waters had gotten like a year ago that just needed the toolhead wired up and CAN bus configured. That's all configured sitting in my living room right now. So that's going to be going down to Echovate possibly sometime this weekend or early next week. I'll probably take the 2.4 down there as well because they should have a space for me to put it by the time I get it there this week. So I'll take both of those printers down. The 2.4 is mine. It's just going to be on display there because it's an LDO kit and they're selling LDO stuff now. So I'd offered up a LDO kit 3 times now. Let the wire slip out right as I crimp it, which means you don't crimp the wire, you just crimp a connector for the hell of it. We've got this project that's nearing completion. I've got the parts for a Frax build printed. Me and KB3D are going to be doing a Frax build together. Need to figure out what day we're going to do it. Most likely be a Sunday evening, which is when he normally. And then we've got to finish death racers and drag racers, all kinds of fun stuff for Rocky Mountain. The Baby Belt Pro Kit arrived on Thursday. So we now have our Baby Belt Pro Kit on hand. That'll be something that we get to work on. What else? I'm waiting on the Prusa Core Wine Kit to arrive. I am not going to do, well, I am not currently planning on doing a 3D Maker Noob full like end-to-end stream on that build. I probably could, but I think I want to take my time a little bit more on that build. Okay. And I'm not going to care which one of these is going to which outlet. We'll figure that out at some point, but the plan here is just get the fans connected. They are going to be configured the exact same way. And I'm just going to triple check that these 2 ports are set to 12 volts. Sorry for getting my big head in the way. I am verifying that these are jumpered for the 12 volt because we don't want to send 24 volts to these fans. We'll go ahead and get the wire covers back on there. Oh, there. Yeah, kind of we're getting several of our projects done. Correct. I'm going to build one. I cannot bring myself to take a Mark IV. Well, one, you'd have to have the Mark IV S upgrade. There's $100+ there, and then do the upgrade kit. And then when you're done, okay, great. Now you've got a Prusa Core 1, but you don't have a 4S or a 4. So I would much rather build the kit, and then if I don't want the Mark IV, I would sell the Mark IV. Okay, so your thing's at 2 p.m. Awesome, Liz. Awesome. Yeah, like I said, my plan will be to build the Core 1 kit And then, like I said, if I decide I want to get rid of my Mark IV, then I'll get rid of the Mark IV. But it's really not something I'm thinking about. Now, the other thing I can do is add some more cable sleeving to the back side of this to clean up the wires on the back here. Because on the back side of the printer, you will have just these wires out here. So I'll add, at the very least, I'll take the two fan wires and this stuff and sheathe them in a cable sleeve, probably down to about right here, and then let them go. So we'll do that just to make that pretty. And now we should be good to go to where we can apply power. And I took the power cord downstairs because that's what we do to ourselves. Let me get the duet stuff out of the way. I probably have a spare power cord somewhere around here. Otherwise, I will have to go downstairs. Snag that one for the time being. We'll borrow the one off the black box. And all we're going to do is get this plugged in. I'm going to leave the camera right there. Let's go straight bench side so we can get rid of the display. And we're going to push the button, and you guys be ready to clip it in case there's anything that goes sparky. Hopefully not. Hey, look, everything came up. Nothing went sparky. My 3628 fans are running full bore right now. Ooh, and they're going to continue. No, they shouldn't. But they might not be configured. Did we not configure them? Awesome. So the fans are still going, and what I'm getting here is unknown pin chip name EBB. And that's because the EBB controller's not talking yet, so it doesn't know how to talk to it. If we look at our printer config, oh, we haven't even. Am I even in the right? Yeah, this is the right one. Awesome. So I thought I had done all the software on this, and apparently I hadn't. Great. I have sworn that I at least, oh wait, no. Because we are talking to the controller via USB with the CAN bus. We'll have to go and look at the esoterical. But this was kind of where we left off. We should have catapult on here if I remember right. And it's just the next steps. So let's go into PuTTY. We'll log into our host. Should still be, no, not BQ. Okay, let me do LSUSB and let me just see what we have. We've got a CAN adapter. So the yes Worcester CAN adapter. This is the Manta M8P. Hey Kegel, good morning. Musaka, you can never get your electronic space so neat and tidy. Get your cable trough stuff. Get your cable trough stuff. That'll make it easy to stuff all your wires in there, and it looks 100 times better than it normally would. Hey Shenanigans, welcome on in. Healer's Way, welcome on in. There's the beacon. And I don't see this bad boy. I'm almost 100% sure that we've got catapult on it. So I'm going to run this script, and this is going to tell me real fast whether it is seeing catapult on it. And it is not seeing it. I could have sworn I got it on there, but we do want to grab darn it. This should be our MCU. And yes, we have our MCU in there. This is the one we need. Okay. All right, what am I doing? Okay, so maybe we don't have catapult on here yet. That stinks. Don't need that. Already got catapult on here. So we're going to need to do this piece. And I get to listen to these fans the entire time. Okay, so this will give us an indication. So GB01, 8 bootloader, Yeah, this tells me right here that we have created the file on this printer. Do I have the DFU jumper for the 120 ohm resistor jumper? I do. Don't have a jumper on the 5 volt. Thank you for the subscribe, Musaka, by the way. Hey, Additive Adam, how's it going? I'm not sure if the fan noise is getting picked up. I've got these 3628s going full bore right now because apparently I haven't finished the toolhead board yet. So that's what we're kind of looking at right now is we need to get this done for catapult and clipper. Okay, Nathan, I will get you that setting, and we'll talk about that setting when you get back. Remind me, please. Hey, Wen Sing, how's it going? So we do have the 120 ohm resistor added there. This is the part that sucks. DFU mode. You've got a button here and a button here. This is your boot. This is your reset. And to put it in DFU mode, it's press and hold both, release the reset button, then release the boot button. This is where I kind of get a couple of zip ties because you don't want to be reaching in here, especially with power on with anything metal. You slip off and hit the circuit board, you can damage things. So, you know what? I'm going to make this a little bit easier for me and move this over some. And I'm actually just going to try and double click it because if I can double click it, it might go into bootloader mode. Um, it's not picking up the query. All right, I guess we'll just have to go to the full Monty here. In Catapult, let's do a make menu config. M32 GB01. Build application bootloader 8 kilobits, 8 megahertz. CAN bus on PB0, PB1, 8 kilobit offset. 1 million CAN bus speed. Port PA13. See, that's good. Let's put this in DFU mode. So boot. Oh, you know what? Hold on a second. This is where we're going to have, we'll encounter our first hurdle. And that hurdle is the need to put this in DFU mode and do we have to connect via USB. Give me 1 second. I'm going to mute and go down and grab the cables I need because I know those are sitting downstairs. Okay. So yeah, we're going to have to disconnect our CAN bus cable and remove that 24-volt power. And we're going to need to put a jumper on the backside to tell it to be able to use 5-volt and the USB connection. And I'm just going to pipe this down. I'll through here, plug it in, and then I'm just going to get this loosely plugged in. Easier. And I'll be able to take this out a little bit later on after the stream. Guess while I'm down here, make sure that this has, it does have the 120 ohm resistor on the board. So we'll get this lifted back up. Okay. Power this back on. Whoops. I need one more jumper. Bear with me. Why would I have one of those up here? As one. The smaller size jumper that you use for these. So what I'm going to be looking for is to see if I can't find one of those smaller size jumpers there with the little, I'll say the flag head on it. This is a set of jumpers right between the USB connector and the 4-pin CAN bus connector. That'll let us connect and power the toolhead board off of 5 volts. We'll make sure to put it in DFU mode. Once again, that is hit, hold down boot and reset, let go of reset, then let go of boot. Hey, Shrimp Father, how's it going? We're trying to play with our firmware here. This is still coming up. It doesn't understand the EBB. That's because we need to flash our EBB. Let's get back into the Raspberry Pi, or the CB1 actually. Let me do LSUSB, and we've got the OpenMoco Geschwider, whatever, CAN bus adapter. This is the Manta board. This is our board or our toolhead board. So we're good there. We need to CD into Clipper. So we need, or not Clipper, but Catapult. Do a make clean. Make. So clean just clears out anything that was there previously. The make is going to remake based on the settings that we did before. Okay. And now we're going to run this command to flash the board. Ask for the Pi password. And everything flashed successfully. Don't worry about this error here. On the get status, the biggest thing that you're worried about is the file downloaded successfully. Okay. So now we're done there. We need to shut down again, and we'll disconnect the wait for things to shut down. We're going to disconnect our USB. And yes, I'm just going to leave it out the back for right now. We're going to pull that jumper that says accept 5-volt or run off of 5-volt. We're going to plug our CAN bus cable in. And then we'll start everything back up again. And actually, I think I'm going to, because I can get to it from this side if I don't drop my mouse. Hopefully I don't regret pulling that completely out. Just do that for now. Go ahead and get this started. Now, I know you can't tell here. Maybe you can see on my hand now. You see that flashing blue light? We had told it to flash the blue light, and that tells me that it comes up and it's good. So now what we're going to do is go back into our Raspberry Pi, or in this case CB1, our host, log back in. And we're going to run this command. And this command is basically running a Python script to query the CAN bus. And what we should see now is two UUIDs. The top one, which is Clipper, is our main board. The bottom one, which is running Catapult, is our toolhead board. Hey, Captain Kern, how's it going? Welcome in. Hope everybody's doing well. Hey, Waters, what's up? Heading to the airport to come back to Raleigh. Nice. I don't know if you guys can hear these fans, but these are blowing some flipping air. Kind of crazy. Yeah, Waters, I need to bring the 0G back. I was thinking about just running whatchamacallit, running input shaper and stuff on it. I still haven't done the E-steps. Okay, so now we're just going to copy paste. So we're going to move over to the Clipper folder. We're going to do the make menu config. We'll come over here to get our Clipper config for the toolhead board. Oh, not a problem. Not a problem. Like I said, I've done a few of them, so it makes it easier. Uh-oh, how many ferrets do you have additive, Adam? So we're just going to make everything match here. So we want to enable low-level config, the STEM32 board. We need to change this to the G0B1. 8 kilobit bootloader, yes. Clock needs to go down to 8 megahertz. Communication. This is the easy one to get messed up on. It's Papa Bravo 0. You'll notice that you have PD0 and PB0 right next to each other. A lot of times, like an octopus board is Papa Delta 0, where your toolhead board is Papa Bravo 0. Can't tell you how many times I've gotten myself stuck on that. Everything else is good. We'll say Q to quit, yes to save. We're going to make clean. That clears out any of the old cruft that was left over from the main board. Now we're going to do our make. While that's making, we'll jump back over here. There's the make clean, the make. And here's where we're going to use Catapult, the flash clipper. We're going to stop the clipper service. Once this is done, of course. 7 total now after the last 2 rescues a month ago. Holy cow. Are they always stealing your keys and stuff? Because I know that ferrets tend to be kleptomaniacs. They love to grab things and go hide them. Okay, so that's completed now. We're going to stop the clipper service. And of course, put in our password. And we're going to run this flash tool query again. Which will give us our UUID that we're going to need here in a second, because we're going to copy this line. And then we're going to backspace through the your UUID. We'll highlight this UUID up here. And with it highlighted, we just right click and it copies it over. We'll hit enter. And now it's going to flash the toolhead board via the CAN bus. We got our little blue light going like crazy there as it did the flash. Flashing is complete. Now we're going to do that query again. And we should see that both of them are listed as application clipper. What we need to do is make sure that we have that highlighted. Right click up there and copy. Come into main sale, printer config, and we will add our UUID down here for the EBB. Save and restart, and hopefully our fans will shut off. Hey, Cruising Girl, how's it going? Welcome in. All right, sounds good, Waters. They're little thieves, yeah. Oh, yeah. They are cute little guys, but yeah, they're little thieves. Okay, trying. Oh, can't connect to Clipper because Clipper is stopped. So you can come down here and see Clipper. You see how this is highlighted and the squares grayed out? That means it's stopped. We'll restart the Clipper service, and that might actually make it easier. So it's not understanding EBB. So we've called it EBB42 here. I think the extruder would have my first. Okay, so I've called all the pins EBB. Easiest thing to do is just get rid of the 42 there, save and restart. That should clear it. Of course not. Virtual end stop requires a diag pen config. Virtual end stop for X. What's our diag pen for X? Diag pen is the end stop pin, correct? Been so long. So TF4. Problem is I don't have. What's the TF4 is in stop pin. TF4. Goodness gracious. Just want you to come up. Just come up. No error. Okay, so apparently I thought I had things configured. Apparently not. Extruder, sensor type, EZZ, extruder. PT1000, is that a... directly connected PT1000. Yeah, PT1000 is a sensor type. All right. Is it like that? Please. Why? I have it in both places? Good gracious. Position in stop is not valid in stepper Z. Why is negative 0.5 not valid? Make it 0. That better? Nope. So what's going on here? I guess I could make it easier on myself. Could make it easier on myself. Have the printer turned on. That would always help. And move this a little bit further away. Ooh, still doesn't help much. Yeah, this is actually a white frame. It just looks gray because of the way the light's hitting it, but it's a white frame. It's powder coated by DLL PDF. Yeah, error after error after error. I thought I had a base config on this. Apparently not. Um, Z and stop pen. Mac men. Oh, gotcha. So that's what we need. We just need to comment it out. Even better. That's right, because we don't have an end stop, we're using the probe. And the next error, mesh main direction is invalid for the beacons. Okay, well that one we'll have to look at a different printer for. Wow. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, this is the way it goes sometimes, Tugboat. Like you said, error after error after error. Fine, the thing that you want to use isn't working. Won't come up. Okay, so it's complaining. What was it complaining about? Beacon mesh main direction. Okay. Beacon. Sounds good. Fine. I haven't set the beacon probe up yet on this fully yet either. So right now I'm just trying to get it to where it will at least come up and turn the fans off. Please. I beg you. I guess while I'm waiting for this to figure out if it's going to talk, we've got toolhead cooling fan, no hot end fan, controller fan is under the board, exhaust fan. Oh, actually, no, these. What do I have this set to? Okay, this is going to be incorrect. This is going to be print cooling fan is attached to PC2. I don't know which pin is which. We'll go PC2. Let's see. That and 5. And I'll grab this. and B1. Hey, Tech Jeeper, welcome on in. Just going to do a full reboot on this now. See if we can't figure out what's going on. I'd really, really, really like to get my part cooling fans to stop blowing my eardrums out. Um, Picture sensors, fan. Okay, so we do have a tack pen. And I will say we have a hardware PWM. And one is not a valid fan config set. Why the hell not? I I give up. I don't know. Um, what are our fan types? It was to fan generic. See if that'll work. I've never done 4-wire fans, so if anybody has a suggestion, I am definitely open to it. I, oh my God. Why? I don't know. I'm apparently going to need to do do some research on those 4-wire fans. Come on, you can do it. I'm getting impatient because these fans are getting annoying. I'll take a look at that. Um, I'm half tempted just to comment out both of them just so hopefully they stop. Okay, why are we not connecting? Yeah, they're 4-wire PWM fans. So they got a PWM and a tack. Awesome. Okay, yeah. Unable to connect to the beacon. Why can't you connect to the beacon? That might actually make sense. We're going to do something for now. And that something is going to be unplug those fans. We'll play with those fans in a little bit. Because that's killing my ears. And it looks like we may have to do some interesting wiring to make them work. And I am hearing voices, which means my parents showed up early. Imagine that. Okay, so we're going to unplug these part cooling fans for the time being and see if we can at least get past that and start working on something else, because I'm going to have to read that article that Additive Adam dropped in there, and I'm probably going to need to do some weird pen definition stuff there. So, hey, Big Jano, how's it going? Hopefully, well, we didn't damage the fans because they were going full tilt the whole time, so that was fun. Might have to comment out the fan though, I don't know. Um, Beacon. This is kind of where we left off. We have the accelerometer stuff set up, I believe. Resonance tester, beacon, yes. Calibrate beacon. Okay, so we can't calibrate, I guess, until we can actually talk to beacon. Talk to beacon. We're gonna have to really work on, we still have to verify all of our stepper directions and stuff like that. So we're gonna call it done. Like I said, I'm going to work on the configuration for this. I'm going to have to do some research on that this weekend and get these fans properly pinned out at the board so that everything works right. I am not sure why all of a sudden my beacon is not wanting to talk. Do we see beacon, or did beacon stop talking? Get logged in here, and I'm just going to do an LS USB. There's our Yeshuan, so that's the main board. There's our beacon right there. So our beacon is still talking. Up beacon, mounted, route the cable, routed, all the beacon module. Give it a shot. I was pretty sure that I did it, but then again, I was pretty sure I did a bunch of other stuff too. So beacon's already flashed with the current firmware. Okay. Your Moonraker update options. Hey, look, there's the beacon stuff. Whoops. That, that for now. Bigger calico clipper for beacon. Why, you know, do you not have the serial? Oh, that would be why. We don't have the serial defined. Huh. Paste all that back in and then we'll do our serials. LS, that might. Oh, oh, hey Nathan Builds Things. You're back. What'd you miss? Me continuing to fiddle fart around. Um, stop click, start click. And apparently it doesn't like those two fields being in there for whatever reason, even though the beacon says add these fields. That must be a newer version of Clipper that says I don't like these commands anymore. All right, sounds great, Big Jano. Coffee, that sounds good. We got coffee ourselves. Yes, this is my Dunkin' coffee. Mr. Dragon did go and get us a Dunkin' run. Why is the Clippy software having a hard time connecting to? Did get the beacons, right? Serial by ID. Let's go ahead and add that slash in there, which will help it find it. Oh, why? Why are you giving me? Are you? Folks, I'm going to have to play with this a little bit and see why it's okay. There we go. Not connect to now. It can't talk to the main image. All right, something's going a little funky. Um, 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 Nathan Buildsing. What you want to do is increase your idle timeout. That's going to be what you want to do. And I think, do I have that? No, that's 8. I know on one of mine I made it. I can't remember what the configuration is, but I've set mine to like a 24-hour idle timeout. And that way, if I have a print that for whatever reason pauses in the middle of the night, it doesn't cool down and do that shutdown event. You see, think it was on one of the Mercury. This should be the Mercury one that I just set up for waters. Yeah, there we go. So this right here is the configuration that I did, Nathan. So in the idle timeout, change the timeout to 43,200, and that's a 12-hour timeout. So you shouldn't have any issues. Well, 1800 is the default, which is very short. So that's where I said, I think it's done in seconds. Yes, what? 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour, times 12. So let's do math real fast. Do math using a calculator. I believe it's in seconds. So 60 seconds per minute times 60 minutes per hour times 12 hours. Yeah. So that's what it is. It's done in seconds. So 1800. All right. Yeah. So that's literally 1800's half a minute, like 30-second timeout. And that's the default for Clipper. So yeah. So that would be the parameter that you want to do. Like I said, folks. Ooh. Oh wait, I'm on. I was like, oh, it worked. No, it didn't. Different machine. I'm gonna have to figure out what's going on over here as to why all of a sudden it can't talk to the ECU. Do a quick reboot of the host, see if that helps. But I've got family here now. I've got to get ready to go. Mrs. Mama Dragon, we'll call her that. Mama Dragon came to pick up some prints that she had requested for her church. And I don't know about you guys, but when Mama Dragon shows up and she's sitting right next to me, giving me stink eye. So um, I'm gonna have to get going here. Um, yeah, and I'll keep futzing around with this later today to try and figure out why all of a sudden things aren't talking. Cannot update MCU config as it is shut down. I just did a reboot of the whole thing. It's not shut down. So yeah, something is amiss. I'll double check. It quite honestly may be that my SD card is giving up the ghost and causing blurps. I don't know. I'll take a look at it and try and figure out what's going on. But the MCU is the main board, and I'm pretty sure I didn't bork the main board. Not a valid PWM. So I've disconnected things. maybe I'm wondering if maybe it's complaining about that now because I disconnected it. Weird. Be the first time that Clipper's done something. Hey, look at that. Missing config. Hey, you're missing a bunch of stuff. Yes, I will. A whole lot of stuff. So, yeah, I'm going to have to go and take a look at this config again. I have a feeling that I, yeah, I've just worked a whole bunch of stuff. The more I think about it, because we have had a little bit of time between now and the um, last session on this printer, and I think some of what I'm seeing here is um, we had, because this is a Manta M8P and my other boards were running Octopus, I think what we did is we grabbed the default Manta M8P for the Trident and put it over here, and we just validated pins and stuff. So I'm gonna have to go through and look at these things. I know things like this isn't gonna be here. We'll need main sail, we'll need macros. I'll pull these two down, but they'll all of these will cause issues if I don't move macros and stuff over. Not gonna need this or nozzle scrub. Won't need this, and I don't know, we won't need case shake too unless I install something. So I can at least drop these and re-upload them. And by drop them, I mean come over to my other Trident, drop macros, as in download, adaptive mesh, download, line purge, download. Come up here and tell it to actually keep the files. I love how Chrome is like, no, no, I don't want to do anything with a config file, even though I'm downloading it. So we'll save, not save and restart, because otherwise it'll bark at it. We will upload, downloads, adaptive mesh, time purge, and macro. Open those, rename them to get them the correct naming convention. Macros we're going to have to change because the size is different, but we'll update those. We're going to have to do some updates anyhow. Now if we do a restart, we should still come back up. Fingers crossed. Bed mesh calibrate not found in G-code macro. Calibrate's called out here. Also called out seen this before. I want to say I just had to create basically a dummy bed mesh calibrate macro. Yep, I will play with that later, folks. I said I've got family here, and I need to go and have lunch and do some things with family. So everybody, thanks for being here. I will continue to play around with this. Tesla's, good luck on your maker meetup today. Nathan Builds, thank you for the bits. And yes, Bexy is live, so we will go over to our friend Bexy B. I haven't had a chance to raid her in a long time, partly because she's been over at Makers. Wow, Nero's on too. Miss Beans. All right, folks. Thank you very much for joining in today. Yeah, everybody have a great weekend. Join me as we go over to see Miss Bexy Beans. She is a great streamer here on Twitch. She does cosplays. Well, not cosplays. She is a Disney princess over in the UK. So she makes her own Disney princess costumes. She has a lot of content on stream about doing those and her events. So thanks everybody for being here. Hey, Jedi Spidey, welcome in. And I will see you guys Tuesday, if not before. Thanks a lot. Have a great one all. Bye now. I guess it would help if I switched. Thank you everybody for being here. It's been great having you here today to help me muddle through this. I will check out that link that you sent, Additive Adam. Thank you for finding that for me. Let's go over to Bexy Beans, and I will see you all on. Bye now. For those of you that are watching this at a later time over on YouTube, thank you for being here. If you like what you see, please feel free to like and subscribe down below. Be sure to click that bell to get notified of future videos. YouTube's going to be suggesting one for you right over here. Great day.